Hey, Carson, welcome to the Zoom.
Howdy.
Got some questions for you. We'll start off with Travis Brown from Bryan College Station Eagle.
I could be mistaken, and we could have already asked you about this, but if we didn't, might as well. Do you fancy yourself as a running back now with some of those runs you had a couple weeks ago? And what is that experience like for you?
Experience. Was not expecting to run the ball. Don't want to run the ball again. It was fun and all. I'm not gonna lie, I blacked out. I definitely just took the ball and started running. It was kind of funny, but obviously, if I'm touching the ball, something went wrong. So that's kind of how I thought about it too.
Yeah, and then Kellen talking a little bit earlier about maybe if what this could be if this was his last game as an Aggie. What do you, in your perspective, think that Kellen has meant to this program in his years here?
I think he's been a great deal of the program. I think he definitely is going to leave an impact, definitely leave a legacy here, which is awesome for him. I think Kellen just helped, and like all of us as seniors, the 2017 class, I think we've all helped build, hopefully, like maintaining like a championship program, something that like teams from now on will start following, like the ways we did everything, how it worked out, how we did the offseason, how we practiced, how we played games.
And then finally, is there any conversation amongst the seniors on the offensive line about anybody taking advantage of coming back next year, or what's that kind of conversation?
Obviously there's talks around the whole locker room about that, but right now everyone's just focused on just winning this game, playing the best we can, finish out the year strong.
All right, next question's from Daryl Bruffett with KBTX, and then Chuck.
Hey, Carson, can you talk a little bit about just that? I know North Carolina's got some guys that are opting out, but you guys haven't. You guys are basically staying 100% strong. Just how proud you are of the guys that put the team first. Not saying that there's anything wrong with what the North Carolina guys are doing, but just the fact that you guys are putting the team first and wanting to finish up strong.
I don't know, the whole opt-out thing. Yeah, everyone can make it what you want. Like, I don't think anybody on our team is going to quit on our team like that. Like we've been battling it out. The whole 2020 season definitely got really close as just a team as a whole, because there's been a lot of stuff going on. You kind of got to give it up for everybody just sticking with each other, even like through the like kind of the thickness and like kind of the rough times about 2 weeks off here and there. You had COVID, people get quarantined. Everyone just knew that they just wanted to keep playing. So, I think it's one of those things too we owe to Texas A&M to play it out. Coach Fisher might not have recruited me, but I owe a lot of someone just letting me come here and let me play, and I owe a lot to A&M to finish out my part of the contract and play out all my games, since they are providing like a scholarship and letting me play here.
All right, next up is Chuck Carlton from the Dallas Morning News, and then Pranav.
What has changed about the culture in the football program since Coach Fisher arrived, and especially this year? I guess what's been the secret sauce for you guys?
Secret sauce this year, I think it was just we had a lot of depth. Not depth, but like a lot of experience more just around the whole team. The defense is like a lot of seniors on it, a lot of people that know how to play football. This year we finally had an O-line that had a lot of experience. The biggest thing, like we had a quarterback that had a lot of experience, and even the running back to Jalen, and the tight ends like Rennick too. And the receivers, they were just wanting to play, wanting to make plays. So that helped too. I think this year we made a big emphasis like on the O-line, run the ball, being able to pass protect too, and give Kellen enough time to get it to the skilled players to make plays.
And what about the culture as a whole? I mean, what has Coach Fisher and his staff brought to the table?
Since he's been here, he brought in Coach Schmitty, the strength coach, and I love Schmitty. He's a great dude. It's like his program. He's going to try to break guys and makes them fit into the program, and that's what he did from the beginning on. I could tell, like, it's just a different way we did things with the old staff, and with him, you had to be here early, had to be on time. If you weren't early, then you're gonna get kicked out. It's just one of those things, and everybody respected it, knowing that we were trying to change it. And so the culture as a whole got changed. We all knew like what it takes to be a winning program and what it takes, like, and what we have to do to get there and how we have to be able to stay there consistently throughout the week. And that means like practicing at a championship level, like, practices become kind of, like long and just demanding and stuff. But every week we realize like it's very important that we are focused every day.
All right, next is Pranav and then Justin.
Carson, in terms of North Carolina's defensive line, do you have a general idea of how you're going to set up protections for the game on Saturday?
It looks like they're going to do a lot of 3-down. They like to move a little bit. They're going to have 4 eyes. Some 4 eyes are stand-ups. Protection-wise, we're just going to keep it the same way. We always protect like 3-down fronts, 4-down fronts. Nothing really changes that way. North Carolina, like we've been watching them, like they're a pretty good D-line, pretty good defense as a whole. I kind of like how they just hustle the ball. They're always high motor guys, which, that deserves a lot of credit for those guys.
Thanks, Carson.
Next up is Justin Woodard from KAGS and then Mark Passwaters.
Carson, obviously you guys are disappointed in maybe getting over it as you get to practice this week and it's game week, but Orange Bowl is no slouch of a bowl, man. What does it mean to play in this game and what would it mean to win it? I mean, this program's hadn't been to it since I think the early 1940s. So this means something, doesn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, it's just another game. We need to finish the season out strong. The whole team knows this is a big game. Whatever the people voted on, it's the past. You can't really do anything about change it. All we can focus on is this game. I know everyone on the team is pumped to go to Miami. Like you said, we haven't been there in years and years. So it's awesome that we can be one of those A&M teams, the first ones to set a standard by going to New Year's Six Bowls and playing our hardest, finishing out the season, and hope to come back with a win.
All right, let's go to Mark Passwaters and then Owen Buchanan.
Carson, I'm going to ask a 64-mile up question. Explain to people who don't know why offensive linemen like run blocking as opposed to pass blocking, because you especially have mentioned how much you like run blocking this year.
It's one of those things for me, I like getting a 3-point stance and I like going at somebody. It's kind of like a board drill almost sometimes, where it's just you versus him. You got to win your battle and your block. And I guess you can say the same thing with pass protecting, but I would say it's awesome when you're getting to move somebody, getting to throw somebody on the ground and getting to move them like 2 or 3 yards back, knowing that you just overpowered that man. Like run blocking. Also, I think so to be able to run block, you got to trust not only the old lineman, but you got to trust the tight ends if we're in there with tight ends. You got to trust receivers to make blocks in the outside perimeter. You just kind of got to trust the whole offense as a whole in order for Isaiah, Anias, any of the running backs to chain to make that carry and make the yards. And then this year, it's also been awesome just getting to see Isaiah, run through guys. Like we'll block, he'll make contact at 5 yards, but then get an extra 2 or 3 or 5. And that's a big thing too. It's just like for us as an O-line, you can tell we just get really hyped up when we get to move the ball, run the ball, and just move people around.
You ever kind of get the feeling, or do you know that at a certain point in time where the opponent's defensive front knows that they're in trouble?
Yes. And that's like the point that an O-line, like you can feel them just breaking almost. You can feel them like bending over, they're getting tired. And that's when we're just like begging the coaches, like, hey, let's keep running at them. Like we're in better shape than them. Like we can keep doing it. And whenever you start seeing them start subbing people out, like third, fourth quarter, long drive, like we're really good at doing those 10, 12, like plus play drives and just run the ball on the whole time. Like we're in shape and we also want to throw people around. And if you watch us some games, like it'll be one of the last plays of the drive, we just went 80 yards and people are still getting moved off the ball, which is just, it's awesome seeing all of us how we've improved that way.
All right, thanks.
All right, we'll wrap it up with Owen Buchanan from Texas.
A couple quick things for you, Carson. First of all, do you guys have anything left to prove in this game?
Yes, sir. Obviously, again, every week, like you got your personal self to prove. You got your name in your back. You got Texas A&M. We just got to prove to everybody in the country that we are a top team. We're going to be a top 5 team. We want to stay there. This game especially, we need to prove that we belong. Like a New Year's Six Bowl, we belong in the top like contenders for the next years and years to come. And I think just finishing out strong, saying that we can make it a whole year, just being focused and just playing.
Okay, and then I wanted to ask you about, A&M just had last week or whatever it was, a big day on signing day. Do you guys that are veteran guys been around, do you pay any attention to the recruiting and the guys that are coming in, and do y'all get excited about it, or is it something that y'all don't even, hey, I'm not going to play with those guys, so I don't care?
It's not like I don't care. It's just you hit a certain age and it's kind of like, all right, I just don't even really know much about. I just don't really know much about the recruiting and stuff like that. I heard that we did get a bunch of good old line guys. Pumped about that. Always good to have better old line guys to push each other. Honestly, the only guys that really care about recruiting is the guys from South Lake. Yeah, from my hometown. Like, if there's anybody good, hopefully we get them. Keep the South Lake train coming here.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
All right, we actually have one more ad. We'll go to Charlie Mickens to finish up.
Good afternoon, Carson. You talked a minute ago about the North Carolina defensive line. When you look at them at the line or the defense as a whole, does it remind you of anybody you played against in the SEC?
No, not necessarily. I think these guys might not be the biggest guys we've seen, but I think they do play really hard, and they got a lot of grit to them. Like I said, they run around, they hustle. They're good with their hands. They try to keep fighting the entire play. If that means they got beat, they're trying to hustle someone down from the backside. So I think they're different in that aspect where they're maybe not the biggest people, but I respect them how they play. They play hard. They play just tough. So it's going to be a good game.
Thank you.
All right. And that's all the questions we have for you, Carson. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you all.
And that ends our press conference. Thanks, everybody.